recognize me. I didn't look the same, but it's all right now.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Nice looking Tuesday morning. Caroline Baldwin is in the studio, ready to answer your questions about your lawns and your gardens and everything associated with those things. The phone number to call if you'd like to speak to Caroline is 622-9622. That's 622-WOCA. It is also the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-WOCA. Good morning, Caroline. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry. I'm doing great. Beautiful, another beautiful day in paradise.
It is. It's really nice.
It's gorgeous out.
It's bright so early now.
Bright, yeah. Bright. Oh, it kind of freaked me out about 6:30 this morning. I was outside and I go, why does it seem so bright?
Did you think you were late? I thought it was late this morning.
I did too. It was. I don't know if it was just suddenly I realized it's bright that early.
Maybe it's global lightning. Maybe things are becoming brighter.
It could be
all around the globe.
Earlier.
Global brightening.
That could be. Well, I don't know. That would have to deal with the educational program. But never mind.
Oh, nice.
But hey, we can try here. We can make our start right here from the beginning.
Global brightening. Yes,
that's it.
Yes.
We will inform and educate those around us.
The last Saturday, I helped my son Alex and his wife Jessica move into a beautiful new home that they bought.
Wonderful.
And I told them in advance that I had a housewarming gift for them. And
did you get
the others who were there chuckled? They thought, well, he's kidding, right? I said, I'm going to get you Black Cow. And then I said, have you ever heard of Black Cow? And some had, and some had. My son had,
right? Because
he listens to the radio.
He listens to his father.
But a lot of them hadn't. So I sang them the song.
Okay.
Black Cow.
The mature.
And then, of course, they thought, Alex's dad is really off the rocker, isn't he? He's really gone nuts, right? Yeah. He's really nuts.
Little lost, yeah.
So then
That's why he's in radio. No.
Exactly right. So then I went to Lowe's,
right,
and I couldn't find it right away because I didn't know what I was looking for.
Oh, the bright yellow bag. Don't you listen to? I mean, you listen to the song, but
Miracle Grow's also in a bright yellow bag, by the way. That's what,
but it looks different.
Well, to you, because you see it all the time. But to me, I was looking for a bright yellow bag.
This is Black Cow.
Okay. All right.
Okay, you give me that part. Okay, but you couldn't find it.
Making fun of me a little bit here. But the truth is I couldn't find it. And so I asked. I thought, well, I hope they have it. And of course they did. The guy showed me where it was.
Sure.
And I got a 50-pound bag for $5. That is cheap stuff.
Yeah. It's for, fabulous soil amendment. And like you say, they've got a nice garden area in the backyard.
I just thought how good that cow must have felt when it let go of those 50 pounds.
Yeah, there you go. I think it took multiple ones to fill that. But
More than one cow?
More than one cow. Or one cow that's kept very busy.
But anyway, just before you think that the only gift I got him was manure.
Right.
I did get him a nice, cool fountain.
Oh,
there
nice,
also.
nice.
It looked like a bird bath.
Okay, right.
With two children standing beside it. Have you ever seen that, Lowe's?
Yeah, that one's a neat one. That's a neat one.
So I got that for them, and
nice.
The only problem I have with this is it's electric. You got to plug it in.
Yes. Well, what do you expect?
You can put an electrical cord across a garden that gets watered on.
Yeah. You get outdoor extension cords, and
that scares me.
No, they're designed to be outside. They plug in good. They're grounded, and your outside receptacles on the house are GFIs.
What does that mean?
That if it gets wet or something, it will shut that one off.
Oh, okay.
Before it blows a breaker in the house, that actual outlet will turn off. Just like the ones you have in your bathroom or by the kitchen sink or anything in a more modern house, in a newer home, they're definitely going to be a GFI.
So I told you my story, but I do have a question about this now.
Okay.
Now I'm going to try to describe the size of the garden area that they have inherited because they bought this property. I told you it's bordered by railroad ties.
Railroad ties, right?
I am not exaggerating now. It might be half the size of this room.
Okay.
Like if you took that wall to the halfway point, that's about the size of the garden area.
That's a nice garden area. Probably a good, I don't know, 20.
Yeah, that's about right, I think. So my question to you is, obviously one bag isn't enough.
Isn't enough.
So how many bags would you recommend?
Would you put in that? If you think it's about a 20 by 20, or
it's not square.
Not square, so maybe
it might be 20 by
10 or 15.
10 or 15, yeah.
If you figure the square footage is how you usually go by, is
so by 200 feet.
Yeah, if it was approximately 200 square feet, you're probably looking at maybe about 10 bags.
10 bags.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Go get them some more.
Go get some more. And that would put a really good amount of amendment in there, especially to give it a good start.
Okay.
Especially if they're if they really do want to plant that up, or if they're only going to plant part of it, you wouldn't have to do. If they were going to just start small.
So they put it in before they plant anything?
Right. Right. Take and open it up, rake it into the ground, or spade it in, and just get planting.
Okay. It looks like you've got a phone call. Let's go
Great.
to the phone. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on there with Carol Ann.
Good morning,
Morning.
Carol Ann and
Morning.
Larry.
Hey, Hugh.
See, I'm glad you're on at 9 o'clock because I'm sitting here waiting to do a lot of work, and I wanted to get your opinion on something before I start.
Okay.
What I did yesterday is I went and bought 6 flats of grass plugs.
Okay.
And there's 18 plugs in a flat. I bought 6, so I got 108 plugs to plant or to put in the ground. I wanted to know how close or how far apart should each plug be?
That is really, it depends on how quickly you want it to fill. You can take and checkerboard them, leaving just the corners touching, because the squares are usually about a 4-inch. I think about
Yes.
a 4-inch piece, 3 or 4, and you can put them to where they're butting corner to corner if you wanted to, and that would be almost like an expanded. You think about the expanded steel or expanded plastic, where they've taken and stretched that using slots, and then you'll fill in rather quickly doing it that way. Or you could take and put one like every 8 inches. And sort of stagger that also, and you could cover a larger area. It just depends on how big the area is that you really need to cover.
At 8 inches, how long would that take to fill in like a whole season?
It might take it, yeah, probably would.
Oh, okay. Maybe I could put like a little grass seed in between to help it along.
Well, are you, because you've got what, I thought, do you have Bahia?
Yes.
Okay, and you got plugs for Bahia. Yeah, you could always
Yeah.
fill in with a little seed. Oh, yeah. That would actually
Yeah.
make the seed go further as well as your plugs, and it would be not an instant lawn, but a lot faster than either of them separately.
Right. It's very hard to find Bahia plugs or grass rolls. Everything is
Yeah.
St. Augustine, and I don't understand it because you don't see a lot of St. Augustine here in Marion County that I know of. Everybody seems to have
there's
either centipede or Bahia or whatever.
Actually, there's a lot of St. Augustine in Marion County. It's in most of the subdivisions, especially the gated communities. They're going a little more to zoysia, but there's actually quite a bit. It's in the areas that were just the main part of the county, not homes, HOA'd a lot of times. But even now, though, they're beginning to change that and are allowing people to plant whatever type of grass they wish to maintain, especially because of the watering restrictions, et cetera, plus the issue of pest control. But you have to call the sod farms or and find out where you can find it.
Yeah, I believe I read a while back that in some areas of Florida that St. Augustine grass is banned because of the fact it needs so much water.
Yeah. Down in the Orlando area, you're not allowed to replace. If you have a St. Augustine lawn, you're not allowed to replace it, I don't believe, with St. Augustine, and any new construction cannot have the St. Augustine turf.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're replacing. Some of them are replacing it with zoysia, which zoysia can tolerate less water, but it's still one that needs a bit of water. Your Bahia's one, it may not give you the perfect lawn, but it's a good grass. I mean, it's a hardy grass. It's going to at least keep your dirt in place. It's gonna look nice from the road. It may not be real soft to the touch, but none of our grasses are really that good for that.
Yeah. Can you mix that grass with Bahia?
The zoysia, I wouldn't, because zoysia's a much shorter blade, much more of a dwarf. Yeah, much more of a dwarf grass.
Okay. Well, okay, thank you. Now I can get my work clothes on and get going. I'm glad you're on at 9 o'clock so I can get out there and get this job done before it gets too hot.
There you go. Take your radio with you.
Oh, you better leave it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll talk to you. That's why we come on early. You get a little something done in the garden in the morning, and if you see a problem, you come back in, you get your nice tea about now, and you sit back and ask your question, and we can take care of it. I know folks have been seeing some of the lubber grasshoppers out and about, and we were just joking over at the extension office how some people have a much easier time killing them when they're small because they don't.
Oh, of course.
Because they don't crunch as
I don't want to kill them when they're
easily.
big either.
Yeah, they're kind of scary.
You
They
have no
look
problem
at
with
you-
that, huh?
Oh, well, I do. I make
Oh, good.
sort of, I
Yeah.
have to reach way out with my
Yeah.
protecting the face, and I'm afraid they will jump on me, and it's.
I think some people just pop their heads off, no problem.
I know there's people who grab them and just
Do you know I
flip their. No, I have to take a pruner, and sometimes a much longer handled one to do it.
I know a guy now. He told me this years ago, so I don't know if he still does it. But he told me he would take them and use them as bait for fishing.
Well, but I've heard that at times too. But one of the ladies I was talking with this morning, she said she's taken them and thrown them in the river, and the bass don't come after them. So I don't know if maybe he works it a little more, or she's killed them so they're not twitchy as much.
Oh, he doesn't
I
kill
don't
them. He
know.
puts
No,
them.
he puts them on
puts them in
the- yeah.
Tupperware and
Right, and keeps them alive.
yeah, he puts them on the. I don't know how he does it. To be
I
honest.
don't know, because to me they look like
I'm
they
not good
take
at
a
hooking
bite
anything.
Yeah.
When you take a live shrimp and put it on,
I
he
can
does
do
this-
that.
You do that.
That
See,
I
he
can
does the
do.
same thing.
Yeah.
To me, I can't do that.
I can do a shrimp.
I'm putting a.
I can even do a fish.
I'm putting a
small
steel,
fish.
whatever,
A nickel-plated
whatever it
hook
is, through the body of a living creature.
Well, and actually now you can get away with doing this by going, if you catch me a really good fish, I'll let you go.
Oh, okay, okay. You lied to the thing.
Yes, it makes it much easier to
By the
get away
way,
with it.
hook your squirming body onto a hook with the hopes that I'm going to get
You
something to
said
eat.
something bigger than you. See, because we always used to make the thing is if you didn't catch something, you got peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
If we're on a fishing trip, if you don't catch something, you're having peanut
I
butter
like
and
peanut
jelly.
butter and jelly.
We're having
No problem
fish.
for me. No problem at all.
But no, it's been a great gardening week. Everything's looking real good. I know people have still. It's funny. We still have folks that are looking for petunias and geraniums. And petunias are about if you've got them in the landscape now, they're gonna start going to the wayside. They're probably looking pretty rough already, by now. We're here the second week of June, May right now. June, the rains usually start picking up here. In May,
Yeah.
they'll start picking up, and the humidity gets up, and the petunias just don't like that weather. I actually had somebody go, and you don't have pansies, right? And I said, no, I haven't had them for months.
By the way, you know what I saw for the first time?
What's that?
In the yard that my son and daughter-in-law just bought.
Right.
Hanging in the back was something, and I said, "What is that?" And it was the staghorn.
Staghorn fern.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is not a pretty plant.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Well, this one wasn't.
In their own way. I mean,
Really?
they're kind of prehistoric looking. It was hanging on a log,
It was hanging from a
on
tree.
a basket, from a chain on
Yeah,
a tree.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
they
yeah.
end up weighing so much.
Well,
they're
it was
just-
okay. Well, it didn't look pretty to me.
Well, it could be that it's been neglected. Because
So it could be pretty.
it could be. I mean, it's.
I've
Pretty
heard you talking
in a
about
way-
'em
They're pretty
forever.
in a way of it's almost like I said, almost prehistoric looking. They're not flowery. They're not necessarily graceful. They're unique and just are really cool. A lot of the ferns.
Do you know
will
what
like
somebody
that.
brought in, by the way?
What did somebody bring?
Do you remember? Did I ever ask you about the jasmine tea? No?
I don't know.
Oh, the jasmine tea is I'll bring it into you
Okay.
in a second. But it's a little ball,
Okay.
and you put it into a tall glass of hot water
Okay.
to make tea with it.
Right.
And as the hot water has an effect on it, it literally flavors your water to make it
Right.
tea, and then a little flower pops up.
Oh, that's weird.
And you've never seen this.
No.
And we were talking about it on the show.
Okay.
And one of the guests who had been here, her name is Anna, was nice enough to go buy one for us.
Oh, wow.
And it's sitting on my desk. I will bring it in.
Cool. When we go to break.
Maybe we can get a glass of hot water and demonstrate
And
it.
see whether or not we can make a flower.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Yeah, I
use it.
had never heard of
The
that.
one thing I don't know is if it tastes good or not.
Oh, you didn't taste it?
No. No, I learned about it from Rudy Maxa. Rudy Maxa does the traveling show.
Okay.
And he, like Anthony Bourdain, like if you watch him, he'll let you know if he does not like something.
Right. Right.
Rudy Maxa is so nice
that he's not going to allow his taste to taint yours.
He had a hard time with him in that regard, because he'll be in a foreign country and he'll be talking about this special thing,
eating an eyeball or something like that,
and he'll be with the host and he'll say, "No, that's good," and you think, "Oh, come on." Everything is good.
Yeah,
Anthony Bourdain,
and the look on your face is going, I don't believe you.
Anthony Bourdain, he ate one of those cooked, I don't know if it was a duck or a chicken, but it was still in the egg. The animal was almost ready to hatch. And that's,
oh, my gosh.
Have you ever seen this?
No.
It's a delicacy. You open up the egg and you start to eat the little chick out of the egg. And he takes one bite and he goes, "Well, I won't be eating that again."
Yeah. That was just a little too personal on this.
Yeah. So, okay, I can't wait to show it to you.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I have to show it to you.
But that, it's just some of the strange things that people will eat. But right now, you should be harvesting good stuff out of the garden. This morning, when I put out the Facebook post saying I was, getting ready to come over,
right.
I harvested the end of my potatoes this morning.
The end of them?
The end of my potatoes. They were planted back in the wintertime.
Right.
Got some nice ones. They were the ones I grew them in straight perlite. I don't know. You may not know the perlite's the white stuff that you see in potting mixes. It's it looks like styrofoam.
Okay.
It's not styrofoam.
I've seen it. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
But I have one planter that's all that's in there.
What is it, chemical?
It's volcanic material.
Oh, really?
And so I've done this for a few years. I've planted potatoes. I planted sweet potatoes right in that. Makes them nice and clean when they harvest. And so it's just they're done sort of hydroponically. There's no soil, so that's what hydroponic means. Is using a water liquid fertilizer kind of fertilization and growing them on. So I harvested the end of them. I got some carrots, some peppers. I left one more cabbage in the garden, but I harvested pretty much the last of the cabbage because it's going to start to get way too hot for that. But they have made it. I kept trying, I planted those ones late because all the ones I was planting before me and a bunny were going round and round. Mm-hmm. I would plant them, he would eat them. I'd plant them again, he'd eat them one more time. Finally I put something up that said, "No, you're not eating them this time." And I knew it was getting a little late to actually get them to produce, but they did head up, so that was a good thing.
By the way, Hugh called in about his lawn.
Right.
So I'm going to go back to my son's place again.
Okay.
His front lawn is so thick. The back lawn is normal. Nice.
Right.
But normal. The front lawn is so thick. It's like a big old shag carpet. Yeah. And I didn't cut the grass, but his father-in-law did, his wife's father.
Right.
And he told me it took him 5 hours to cut between the front and the back. He was a push lawnmower.
Oh, my gosh.
It was so thick. He said he had the small wheels on the lawnmower, so he's either got to get a riding lawnmower
or the one with the big bicycle
wheels.
Wheels on them. You're right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not a real big yard, but it must be.
No,
but
not really.
That and a good sharp
Probably
mower
average.
blade. That and a good sharp mower blade. Yeah, that makes it. That makes
That's
the world.
thick. Why would it be so thick? Is it
nice and dense and should be nice and healthy is what it should.
It feels
be.
Healthy.
Yeah.
But my guess is that it was originally sod. Does that sound right?
It probably started out as sod, but even over time, a turf can decline. I mean, you look at the grass. Of course, we only have the small patch over there with the horses, and that's a nice thick. From here, looks nice and thick. I haven't gone out there and
I haven't either.
Mashed on it or anything because I think they got the chain there. They don't want you to go over there and start poking around in the grass. But it is one of those things of the front yard probably is a St. Augustine. That's probably where the former owners put their energy in, is the front yard, because the people in the neighborhood aren't going to see your backyard unless you're inviting them to a cookout. Driving down the road is where most people, you want that curb appeal. So they're putting the fertilization to it, putting the water to it, putting the insect control, but sometimes that's hard to maintain because they had maybe the finances to do that, because lawns, people put more money into their lawn on an annual basis than they do, I think, anywhere else in the landscape, because
I bet you're right.
because of the fertilization and such. But you can keep a nice lawn and back down on some of that cost of watching the amount of water, watering the grass really when it needs it, and watering it thoroughly, fertilizing it properly, not just going out there because I saw the commercial on TV for a lawn fertilizer. I need to run out and get it because they're telling me it's time to do it now. If you just fertilized 6 weeks ago, no, it's not. It's time to wait. We're also coming into that time of year where we don't want to put down a high nitrogen fertilizer. So knowing that, as you're coming along, allows you to not waste your money on the lawn fertilizers and pest control.
Do you hear something buzzing? Is that your phone? Oh, okay. I was thinking, what the heck is going on?
It's not supposed to make that much noise buzzing.
I thought maybe we had to get out of here or something.
No, it was my phone buzzing. But that the fertilizer and watching for the pest issues. You don't have to just willy-nilly run out there and put a pest control down if you don't have a problem, and you can lessen that problem by lessening properly, not lessening the fertilization, but properly fertilizing, properly watering, and properly mowing, and you don't have to throw quite so much money into it.
But you're right; it's not cheap.
No,
right? You got to go.
Now, if you want it, yeah, and so is mine. If it's green, I mow it.
I don't do anything.
Really should put a little more work into it, but I just.
Although I made a mistake with mine.
What's that?
All right. Remember I told you I found that old, what do you call it? Roundup?
Roundup, okay. Yes. And you used it.
And and I have this vine that's been kind of an annoying thing for me.
Right.
It's through one of the seg palms. What do you call
Sago
it?
palms.
Sago palms. Okay.
Right.
So I sprayed the leaves of the vine.
Right.
Not realizing that the overspray was getting into the grass.
So I have
these little burnt areas.
Yeah.
Looks like burnt areas.
It should recover. If it's just some overspray, right, and like you say, it's not that real big of a deal. Sometimes what you can do is if you've done that and you realize you've done it, like right away, you can just go through and hose some of that off, but you have to do it so quickly.
Oh, really?
Read the bottles on all those things. Results in 3 hours, dry, and working in 15 minutes. Well, if you are spraying and doing stuff and you realize that now that you're down the line, oh my gosh, I think I might have sprayed that bush. Yeah. And you go down there and you rinse it off, you're not real sure whether or not you got it off in time, and you may find some burn go on with that. So, use any of those things with
obviously
caution.
Way more potent than my dog's urine.
Oh, I'm sure.
My dog's urine will eventually make that same look, but it takes
it takes a long time.
It takes a lot of repeat applications.
Repeat usage of the area.
We are almost at the bottom of the hour, and that's where we go to Fox News. I want to encourage you, if you're listening, to call Carol Ann. She'll be on another half hour. This is your chance to ask the question that'll help make your gardening a little bit easier and your lawn care a little bit easier, as Hugh just did. And now I'm the visiting father-in-law.
Right.
Depending on who's home, I guess.
It's kind of neat, huh?
Yeah. Do you like that? Do you like that role in your life?
Well, right now my daughter lives on adjacent property, but she's in the process of trying to buy this one house, and it's taking forever to get through it. But I can't wait till she gets it, because I can't wait to get my hands on the landscape.
See that? And it's not yours.
It's not mine, but it's like I can do this, and I can
Oh no! And how does she feel?
Oh, she's like, go for it, Mom, because
she knows. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it has no lawn. It's very shaded, and so she's not going to have to worry about a lawnmower. And if I can plant out most of it and the rest of it, and then we'll just mulch the play area or the main part of the yard, grandson will have a great place to play.
Wow. All right, we are there. We need to move forward. Fox News is coming up, and we'll be right back with Carol Ann Baldwin after news and a few commercials. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Federal safety officials say 2 miners are dead in a West Virginia mine collapse in Boone County. The mining company says the 2 men were trapped after a ground failure last night and that the bodies have now been recovered. The hunt for kidnapped Nigerian schoolgirls getting outside help.
Nigerian officials say their search for the hundreds of missing schoolgirls is now being actively supported by the U.S., including the use of manned aircraft. The State Department says military and intelligence experts are in Nigeria helping with the search on the ground.
Fox Radio's Kimberly Adams.
The terrorist group Boko Haram is demanding the Nigerian government release members of the organization in exchange for the girls, and the Nigerian government says it is considering all options to get the young women back.
And retail sales for April up just 0.1%. Consumers shopping less online, cutting back on furniture and electronics purchases. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Right now at Napa, get your favorite flavor of Valvoline Conventional or Max Life Motor Oil for just $3.59 a quart. Buy 5 quarts and you'll also get a $7 mail-in rebate. Yep, $7. Enough to get a plate of bacon with a side of bacon smothered in bacon. Now that's tasty. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 5/31/14.
It's the golf sale that only comes once a year, and it's the best time to save. It's the Golfsmith Anniversary Sale. Hurry in now for deals like 2 dozen Callaway HX Bite golf balls for only $35. Adidas Adizero shoes, free with the purchase of 2014 Adams Idea iron sets. Free gift cards of up to $75 with purchase. And get 40% off all Snake Eyes and Maggie Lane apparel. It only comes once a year. It's the Golfsmith Anniversary Sale, so hurry.
Hi, this is Carol Ann Baldwin. I quit fertilizing flowers and vegetables the old-fashioned way. Now I use Dynamite Premium Plant Food. With its easy, earth-friendly patented coating, there's no risk of over-fertilizing. Dynamite Complete Plant Food releases nutrients for 7 months, so there are no highs or lows during the growing season. Dynamite Premium Plant Food contains complete nutrition, including micronutrients like copper, magnesium, iron, and zinc. This gives my plants explosions of blooms for both veggies and flowers. When I use Dynamite Premium Plant Food, I only have to use it once every 7 months, and don't worry about the nutrients washing out with heavy rains or irrigation. To learn more about the Dynamite family of products, go to dynamiteplantfood.com. Dynamite Premium Plant Food is so easy to use that you'll spend less time working in your garden and more time enjoying it.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready for prom season with updos and makeup. And with summer coming, now's the time to book your appointment to get that Brazilian blowout or start with your summer highlights. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too.
Hello, gorgeous.
Black Cow composted cow manure is a terrific organic soil amendment. We start with cow manure from dairy farms and then compost it a full 90 days. The result is an all-natural, dark, rich soil amendment that's great for everything you grow. Flowers, vegetables, shrubs, trees, and lawns too. Look for Black Cow in the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center.
Black Cow, the mature manure, Black Cow.
Stay informed on everything going on in the villages with the Village Spectator newspaper. The Village Spectator is exclusively devoted to the villages with news, commentary, and more. And yes, they have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask is that you tell them where you heard about them. Call Tom's Picks at 804-1223 and pick up your copy of the Village Spectator today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
All right, 24 45 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Let's return now to Carol Ann Baldwin. You've got a garden. Remember, your questions, your calls are an important part of this show. If you'd like to call Carol Ann, the number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622, 622-WOCA.
Well, that jasmine tea thing.
So I brought you the jasmine tea.
We didn't have the hot water. Didn't have time to make hot water to make it do, and apparently it takes a little over 2 minutes.
But I showed you the video.
Showed the video. So if anybody
it.
wanted to see it, just go online and was that a YouTube?
That was YouTube. Yeah.
Go on YouTube and probably just search out jasmine. I think I just saw it on this.
Jasmine tea or flowering.
Jasmine flowering
something
tea.
Like that. Yeah.
And actually, as soon as you start, just Google jasmine flower, and all kinds of different things come up. But the tea, apparently, I haven't opened that one page. It does say that it has it's that it not only is it beautiful, but it does apparently taste good.
Oh, okay. We haven't found that out for ourselves yet.
We haven't found that out for ourselves, right? Oops. Don't need it that big.
Well, there you go. Are you a big tea drinker? Do you drink tea?
I drink tea. Yeah, I don't drink coffee.
And do you drink the standard Lipton black leaf, whatever it's called?
I drink Red Rose.
Red Rose. Is that a brand name?
Yeah. It's
So it's still the black Pico, right?
Yeah, orange and black.
Pico?
Yeah, orange and black cut Pico. Yeah, but it tastes good.
But you know what they say? If you look on the back of a Lipton tea bag box. And it compares the black tea, the tea to the green tea.
Right.
And whatever they always say is really good in green tea is almost exactly the same amount in the black tea.
As what is in black tea. Yeah, right. The flavonoids or whatever it is.
I think that's what they're trying to say is that all this hoopla
just because of green tea and black tea. The only difference between green tea and black tea is green tea is, I believe, cured.
I think so, yeah.
Is all it is it hasn't gone through a processing. So there might be a few things that might be a little better, for you, but normally all the research I've ever read or heard about says, when consuming 8 to 10 glasses a day, and I think I would be... Tea contains vitamin P. It makes you cold.
I didn't know that.
Well, some people have that problem with coffee, and you drink too much of it.
Beer.
And that
Beer has vitamin P, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think they all do. Yeah, but I drink tea in the morning. I drink.
You do. You're a tea person.
I'm a tea person. Yeah.
Straight sugar, lemon,
just
anything?
Little sugar. Just as a funny story of drinking tea when I was a kid. I drank tea with sugar and milk in it. I think
yeah, sure.
And that's the way, that's the way I had it. That's the way Mom made it for us. That's the way we drank it. Until one weekend, my brother was filling in for a friend's paper route, and I asked if I could help too. So he said, sure. Mom agreed. My brother got up and he made breakfast. He made Pop-Tarts and tea. Well, he made my tea, and I went and poured milk in it, and the milk curdled because he had made it with lemon. I never drank tea with milk in it again.
No, really?
After that, it was just, no, I didn't, because it was, okay, he made me another cup of tea, but we didn't put milk. He said, do you want milk in it? I said, no. Not
So you instead of not drinking tea, you decided not to drink milk.
It with milk in it.
Do you drink milk at all? Hardly ever.
Not much. Yeah,
have you ever seen this? This is anti-soda video,
right?
That shows you that if you pour milk into a Coca-Cola, that the milk will all just kind of crystallize.
Probably curdles and
stuff.
Curdle. Well, that's citric acid.
And I thought, well, is that a commentary on the soda or on the milk? What's the big issue here?
It's probably the soda.
Well, you would think soda would be the least natural thing.
Right. That it's, got the... Well, soda will take, if your battery's dirty and your car won't start.
I know.
You go get you a cola and wash it off. But I believe that has to be a cola. So I believe it has something to do with...
So Perrier won't do it.
Perrier's not going to do it, and I don't think Sprite will either. But no, anyone who knows me knows I used to walk around with a soda in one hand and a cigarette in the other, and it doesn't happen anymore.
No cigarettes either?
No, gave them up years ago.
I can't picture you smoking.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I was bad, but no, done that stuff. Now I won't say I behave myself, but it's much better health-wise of what I used to do. So, but no.
I've improved a little bit.
But no, with
I took 2 steps forward, 1 step back, though.
there you go. Just sort of happy medium there. Teeter-totter, stand on the thing and swing back and forth. But no, with all the teas and things like that, I think a lot of that is it's based on how many, the consumption, all the health benefits. But if you're, they tell you one time that coffee's bad for you, then they tell you it's good for you.
I know.
It's 1 or 2 cups a day versus 4 or 5 cups a day. I go by that whole thing, everything in moderation.
Absolutely.
And even, like they say, how, the health benefits of the green tea. Even to the best of my knowledge, even in the Asian communities where they do drink a lot of green tea or teas just on a regular basis, they're still not consuming as much as what the researchers would have you go through.
But you want to know what I say? Have you ever gone to a nursing home and seen them eating and seen how many people who are 90, 95 drinking a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
That might tell you something.
Yeah. They're having their cup of coffee, or after dinner they're having their ice cream.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot of that stuff is just
longevity comes naturally, I think, for those who do.
For those who do. Yeah. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann.
Yeah, I think coffee is a natural preservative.
There you go, natural preservative.
Larry, you're going to love that jasmine tea.
Oh, yeah? You like it? You like the way it tastes?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Did you smell it?
No, I didn't smell it. Can you open it, Caroline? I'll smell it.
And it smells, and I think you'll really like it.
Well, this is the little bulb that grows the.
Can you smell it?
Yeah, that's really neat how this thing just unfolds sort of in there.
So you've had this before, huh?
Technology.
Okay.
My tomatoes are going good sons. I don't know. I bought the plant has only been in the ground about 5.5 weeks.
Okay.
And I have 3-inch tomatoes on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's only about 12, 14 inches tall.
Oh my goodness! Do you remember what kind of tomato plant you bought?
Yeah.
Which one?
They're Better Boy.
Okay, Better Boy is one of the shorter day ones, and they make a nice tomato. When you planted them, I mean, you're saying you said only like 18 inches tall?
No, it's only 12 or 14 inches tall.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
I'm wondering whether or not it wasn't a bush variety that they just didn't have the market.
I don't normally. I like the better bush variety a little bit better. It seems to be a little faster growing.
Right.
In the past, but these 2 plants look particularly healthy. Is the reason I selected them.
Right. Right.
And that turned out to be a very good decision.
Right. And sometimes it could be, and I've seen it a lot of times, is that the tags actually get switched. So you might have thought, especially if it's a nice, healthy-looking plant and it's got fruit already at a small size, it may have been one of the bush or patio type tomatoes that somebody just had taken the tag out of one, looked at it, and just put it back randomly into another pot. Unfortunately, you see it all too often.
I know that does happen.
Yeah,
but I'm just amazed at it. Each plant has 2 tomatoes on it, down low.
Nice.
And the biggest one is over 3 inches in diameter now, and the smaller one is a good 2 inches in diameter.
Nice. So good. Yeah, I'd be happy with it too. Just keep them growing. Not too much nitrogen in the fertilizer.
My neighbor had some cilantro, and I took some plantings, and hers was in the shade and mine's in direct sun.
Okay.
And it don't seem to be doing too well. Was that a mistake?
Yeah. You said hers is in the shade?
Yeah, and it's growing great guns.
Huh, I wouldn't think shade, maybe, half day or during that hottest part of the day. But usually
even a quarter of the day, maybe it gets some sunshine, but that's it.
Well, it would be, that's kind of surprising. She's got something going for her, though. Because I'm not, I figured that was more of a sun.
Composted leaf mulch. That area has a lot of composted leaf mulch. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
It could be that it's just a much richer, much healthier soil holding moisture. But normally it is light, that most things are wanting on those kind of things that I'm just surprised the amount, that if you're saying it's not really getting any sun at all, I'm trying to take a quick look and see what they're recommending on that for how much sun that they need. Garden do real quick here. Lacy leaves, gets warm. Well, now, and it says as it gets...
maximum of 2 hours a day. It may not even be that much.
Wow, that's... Let's see, what do we got? I'm not even actually seeing a lighting.
And equally, I'd say.
Say that again?
I said I have 3 different plants, so it's just not a happenstance that one thing happens, because I have 3 different plants, individuals, and they're about the same. They're surviving, but they're not prospering.
Not prospering as well, right. And I'm thinking that it could be that until the weather heats up in late spring. Grow cilantro, okay, what I've got here is grow cilantro in full sun and well-drained soil with a pH right about what we usually want, 6.2 to 6.8. Tolerate light shade in the south and southwest where the sun is intense. So having that shade right now has probably been pretty good. Plant 12 to 18 inches apart in the fall or in the spring, about a month before the last frost. Fall is the ideal time to plant, pretty much for us, 8, 9, and 10, because the plants will last through the weather until the weather heats up in late spring. So that could be why yours are not thriving, is that we have been very hot, at least over the last few weeks. And that if yours were put in a little earlier in the spring, or, if you might go ahead and dig them up and move them to an area that gets some more shade this time of year, and then in the fall you might take one and put it back out in a sunnier location, or that in the wintertime her plants get more sun at that time of year than they do now, and that's why her plants are still going strong, is because that they had a good start earlier in the season.
Okay.
So that's a thought to try to keep them going and keep them alive.
Sort of gradually acclimatize into a different type area, huh?
Right. I would probably take one of them. You say you have 3, none of them are doing fabulously. I would dig one up and maybe either pot it and move it somewhere where it's getting shade through the say the hot part of the afternoon, nice sun in the morning maybe. Let the other ones just try to struggle through if you want, and then in the fall, make sure that you might move the other ones into an area, should they survive, into an area where they'll get sun during the winter months, during the cooler months, but then the shade will come across of how your sun comes across your property.
Okay. Fertilizer for my eggplants. They're getting a little bit yellow.
Are they? I would go with something that's got some, pretty much a basic fertilizer for those. If it's got some iron, I try to stay away from those real simple fertilizers because they don't have anything but the NPK, but it might be needing a little bit of nitrogen or a little bit of iron as well. So if you've got one that's got some of those other minor nutrients, whether or not you're going organic, you can do that and be able to, just looking for those added, the magnesium, the manganese, iron, those kind of things in that fertilizer too. The numbers don't really matter.
Larger.
Say again?
I was in a larger container and putting black cow in and water and just making kind of a black cow tea to water.
You can do that, but I would probably find an added, maybe a fish emulsion or something else that may have some iron in it, and some of those other nutrients, a little, some calcium into it, something that's going to give a little more nutrition to it.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about that for the rest of my plants. I have tomatoes, peppers, onions, collard greens.
Right. Yeah, just make just do them a fertilizer. Most of the fertilizers we're putting in a vegetable garden, they have a tendency, they do get used up quickly because we water as much as as we do on a regular basis for the vegetables. That it uses it up quickly. Plus the plants grow so quickly, they're taking it up very fast. If you're using something like say the dynamite where it's a slow release, you're gonna you really, unless you're looking for a big boost of something, because those feed over an extended time, where some of the other ones, the organic ones, are really kind of a quick release fertilizer. They're not long lasting. So you're using them on a regular basis. You're making that tea, making that bucket of compost tea or fish emulsion type thing, and using it weekly.
Yeah, a week if I'm using that type stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, I in containers. I got 55-gallon plastic barrels cut in half.
Right.
Do my vegetable garden in.
Right. Those are good. Yeah. Those are usually real good, and especially because they'll contain that nutrient longer than if they were in the ground.
And you don't have to crawl around on your hands and knees to cultivate and everything else.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Thanks for the good advice.
Thank you.
Show.
Thanks.
Appreciate your services. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Here's another call, Caroline. Good morning. You're on the air with Caroline.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There you are.
Got a question for you in regards to a peach tree that I actually began from seed.
Oh, okay.
It is of significant size now. I have him right now in a 30-gallon pot.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. And my reason for that, I haven't done it that way, was in case we had a real strong freeze, because it is so young. I was fearful of the freeze. I have that on wheels.
Oh.
Right. And my first question is, should I be concerned about that freezing? Now that it is it's a pretty significant established young tree.
Okay.
I would say probably about a 1 foot tall, but it is probably about 2 feet diameter spread out.
Okay, the canopy.
Say again?
The canopy is about 2 feet.
Right, it's about a 2 foot diameter.
Right.
Because the branches sprawl out in every direction.
Right.
My question is, A, should I be concerned about that freeze the way that I am? And secondly, how long can I keep it in this pot before I need to transfer it to ground?
Into the ground. Well, one, you don't need to worry about the freeze. The only thing that the freeze does is possibly damage the buds when they happen to come out of their dormancy early in the wintertime, because they get enough chilling hours. They come out of dormancy, they begin to flower. Next thing you know, we get a frost, and there goes the fruit for the year. It's in you said a 30-gallon or 50?
30-gallon.
30-gallon.
It's a 30-gallon plant. Planter.
That's a big pot. I mean, it could probably live in that for a couple of years.
Okay.
It's probably, what is the tree, about 2 years old now?
No, the tree. Well, actually, it is about 2 years, because, like I said, I started it from seed.
Right.
And I transferred it last year into this pot.
Okay.
So you're absolutely correct.
Right.
I will probably, this June would be going into the third year.
Okay, would be the beginning of that third year. Right. The only other question I have is what do you know where that peach was grown originally? Because a Georgia peach is not necessarily going to grow here.
It won't grow here?
The tree will. But in order to get fruit, your chilling hours have to be low enough so that the dormancy, we have a tendency to have a very short dormant period. And what that means is the temperatures below 40 degrees in the wintertime need to be shorter than than the ones up north, up in Georgia and Carolina, up into Virginia, Tennessee, where they grow some other peaches. They have a much longer dormancy where they get cold and they stay colder, or their temperatures aren't rising up. And with us, what'll happen is if they need that extended time, they don't get it here, so they never flower, so they never fruit.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a possibility.
And I was doing good by finding seeds that were actually Georgia based.
Okay, yeah. No, because ours, the Florida peaches are usually, especially the ones for our area, are I'm trying to think of the chilling hours, about 300 chilling hours approximately, anywhere between 250 and 350. I don't know if I'd get up there to the 400 unless I was way up, maybe above Gainesville. And see where some of our issues are. Sometimes in the springtime, you hear people calling, my peach trees are blooming in January, and we really don't want them to bloom until March because they had that 300 hours or 250 hours somewhere between November and then it warmed up, brought them up at a dormancy, and boom, they begin to flower, and we have a cold spell in February and kills off the flower or fruit that are on them. The Georgia ones may need a 450 hours, and we just may not get it to put that dormancy. Yeah.
You make everything so logical. I tell you, I should have asked this question prior to my even having planted the seed.
It's fun to try, and not only that is because it's seed grown. Instead of it fruiting in, say, 4 to 5 years, it might be. I think the other trees. I'm not sure if they're fully grafted, but I know ungrafted citrus takes about 15 years to fruit. I'm not sure about the peach trees and such on how long they take to get from seed to a mature fruiting age. I'd have to look it up.
But you think that time would be extended?
You mean to get a fruiting size? It's possible that it could take 5 to 7 years before they'd ever fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up. Unfortunately, my note has decided that its battery is low. I can look it up on the phone, maybe, or I'll get back with it on next week on finding out on some of the Georgia peaches on how the time zone on how many chilling hours they would need and how long it would take for them to begin to fruit.
Okay. Hey, I really appreciate it. You're always full of good answers. I thank you.
Well, thanks for calling. Without the listeners, we don't have a show.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, thanks again.
Thanks.
Wow, he was hoping for some peaches too.
Right, and that's.
Well, I hope he defeats the odds, maybe.
And it is possible to be able to do that. I mean, it might be that the one he has is from a part of southern Georgia or something. I didn't ask which specific variety. It could be that up there that they. At a particular farm, they may be trying to push their season by growing some of the earlier fruit. See, we usually have some of the earliest seasons here in Florida. Our fruit comes on first, then it moves up the East Coast as the fruit begins to ripen up there. Where our strawberries are finishing, you're getting California pretty soon up in the Northeast. They too will be growing strawberries, and theirs will be coming up to ripen. So,
Carolyn, we are at the end of the show.
Yeah, I hear the music.
And I do have a $20 gift certificate to Bob Wines. But I don't think I have enough time for this trivia question. No, I don't think I do. We'll have to hold on to it.
We'll hold on to it next week.
So thank you, Bob Wines, anyway. But we will make sure we give it away next week.
We sure will.
Hopefully.
We will. We'll remember.
I had a tea trivia question. I won't tell you.
Won't tell us. We may save the tea.
Although I did learn that jasmine tea probably is not technically called tea according to real tea people.
Right, because it's not made from the camellia.
Yes. Well, you're so smart, yeah. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thanks,
Always
Larry.
great. All right, we've got to move forward. Fox News is coming up. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. 2 people confirmed dead in a coma.